Hi everyone, welcome to 6th grade math. This is Miss Baracco today talking to you about Unit 2, Ratios and Proportions. And again, our learning objective for the week is students will make observations about ratios and ratio language to make comparisons of data observed from our class population. Quick review from Monday. Ratios help us compare numbers because they can be written as a fraction, with a colon, with the word to, and ratios can be simplified. So we looked at some of our learning products this week, and many of them require us to simplify ratios. Many of them require us to write ratios as a fraction. So that's what we're going to focus on today. Using ratios to convert recipes. So two of our learning products this week have to do with looking at a recipe and converting it for a variety of serving sizes. So I posted a quick recipe here. This is a real recipe for s'mores cereal bars. This is one of my favorite treats, especially in the summer. But my original recipe serves 24 people, right? I make 24 bars with this amount of ingredients. The ingredients are 5 tablespoons of butter, 6 cups of mini marshmallows, 8 cups of graham cereal, 2 cups of dark chocolate chunks. So when I am making s'mores bars for just my husband and I don't want 24 servings because that's an awful lot of s'mores bars. Even if I make 12 servings, that still means we're each eating some s'mores bars every single night for a whole week, and that's just a lot of treats. So in order to say that I want my recipe to only serve 12 people instead of 24, I'm going to be cutting my recipe in half. That's because I know that 24 divided by 2 is equal to 12. So if 24 divided by 2 equals 12, it makes sense that the quantities of my ingredients divided by 2 will allow me to find the new quantity for the new recipe. So 24 divided by 2 is 12. 5 tablespoons of butter divided by 2, or half of 5 tablespoons of butter, would be about 2.5 or 2 1/2 tablespoons of butter for the recipe. I can write it as a fraction or a decimal. I did it both ways just because I'm not sure what you would prefer, but it's up to you. If I took 6 cups of mini marshmallows and I split them in half, or I divided by 2, I would get 3 cups of mini marshmallows. 8 cups of graham cereal turns into 4 cups of graham cereal. 2 cups of dark chocolate chunks turn into 1 cup of dark chocolate chunks. So it's not necessarily that the recipe is changing the taste or anything about the way the bars are made. It's just I'm going to make an overall smaller quantity because I'm lessening my ingredients. And the quantity that I want to make is half of what the recipe calls for, so all my ingredients should be half of what the recipe calls for. So the next thing I want to talk to you about is simplifying in many steps versus using the GCF. So you probably haven't heard GCF in a few weeks. That is greatest common factor. Many people I'm seeing in class doing a similar method that is on the left-hand side of your screen. That means if I have the fraction 24 servings into 12 servings, I'm dividing by a common factor, but not necessarily the greatest common factor. So a common factor of 24 and 12 is 2. When I divide 24 divided by 2, I get 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. But 12 over 6, or 12 to 6 is the ratio, is also not in simplest form. It still has a common factor in the numerator and the denominator. So again, I can take 12 over 6, divide by 2 in the numerator, divide by 2 in the denominator, and get the fraction 6 over 3. At this point, I still am not in simplest form. 6 and 3 do have a common factor, which is 3. So 6 divided by 3 is 2, 3 divided by 3 is 1, and now finally, after 3 steps, I have a simplified fraction. 24 over 12 is the same as 2 over 1. Now, this process is definitely effective. You can certainly find the answer by doing this. However, I like to be more efficient with my division. I like to use the ladder method in order to find the GCF. Now this is on the right-hand side of your screen. So I start with 24 servings compared to 12, and I know that I can pull out a common factor of 2. Once I do that, I adjust my initial values. So 24 divided by 2 is 12. 12 divided by 2 is 6. And I rewrite those numbers. They also have a common factor of 2, so I pull it out again, rewrite the factors one more time. I realize that 6 and 3 have a common factor of 3, pull it out, and rewrite it one more time. Remember, this is the ladder method, so all the numbers along the left-hand side of my ladder are going to be used to find the GCF. I'm going to find the product of 2 times 2, which is 4, 4 times 3, which is 12, and now I know that if I use the number 12, which is the greatest common factor of 24 and 12, I'm going to find the simplest form of my fraction in one step. So 24 servings over 12 servings, divide both numbers by 12, gives me 2 servings over 1 serving. So instead of simplifying 3 times, I simplified once. However, I did have to take some time to find the GCF. So the strategy that you prefer is really what you can use. I just thought I would give you an alternate way in order to give you some options and let you choose how to direct your learning and decide what problem-solving method works best for you. So just to review, today we figured out how ratios help us convert recipes for a different number of people. And we also talked about how ratios can be simplified multiple times to get the simplest form, or to use the GCF in order to kind of make that process a little more efficient.